I mean, when I first started, I hate the idea of mission statements. I think it's just so banal. But I wanted as an idea, an ideal of what the STA is going forward. And I came up with a four core, and I wanted to keep it short as well. So information, education, examination, accreditation. That's what we do. That's what the STA does. And it's pushing that forward. Now, that can work for a while. And I then sat down and had a long think about what would be. There were three questions I asked myself. Why does the STA exist? What is the STA? And how does the STA show relevance and deliver in these days and going forward? And the way I looked at it was, what would happen if suddenly the STA stopped? Well, you know, that's what, you know, if the STA ceased to exist, what would happen? Would the world be an adverse place? And I think it would be. And so I came up with, for the why, the thing we need to do is professional development. And that's why we are here. We're here to help professional development. We provide standardization and credibility for technical analysis. We provide an opportunity for networking and community. And also research and debate. I mean, it's really interesting. We can stimulate research, and we want to provide research in technical analysis and provide debate around that. And an advocacy for technical analysis. There's very few people, there's plenty of people say bad things about technical analysis, but we will always say the good things about it. And providing practical tools through the library, through our video of nearly 20 years worth of videos that we have of our seminars, through our monthly meetings, which still go on, through our actual education we provide. You know, all these things, we provide practical tools for technical analysis. We show people to where to go to get knowledge.
We moved into, oh, sorry.
And the last one was, I was going to say, the last one for the why is, with to preserve our history. We've been around since 1968. We have a huge...
We do.
Not the word library is wrong. We have a huge depository of knowledge, and it's to preserve that history. So that's the why. Now, I'm happy to answer your question, then I'll go on to what and how.
Well, I was just going to say, you've obviously started to explain it anyway. I was going to ask you to explain the Charter and why it was created, but yeah. I was just going to say that it led to further questions during our strategy meeting, because we started to say a lot of people don't even know what technical analysts or analysis actually means anymore, because a lot of IT jobs are called technical analyst. So then we started talking about things like, well, should we really be called a professional network of technical analysts when nobody knows what it means? And it actually led to us to change our strapline of our logo into Analyse, Trade, Succeed.
Yeah.
So
which is a mirror of the STA.
Which is a mirror of STA, absolutely.
Yeah.
So if you could explain further why we got that charter and why we created that charter, that would be great.
I think it's because the feeling I've had, and I think the rest of the board have, including you, is that we're at a crossroads in our history. That in many companies, I mean, there's a lot of it's to do with MiFID, the legislation that's come through. Banks have not really have technical analysts these days, or if they do, they're very much domestically or internally orientated, and it's to provide an information to what is a technical analyst in going into the second quarter of the 21st century. I'm still happy to call myself a technical analyst because I predate everything else that's been called a technical analyst, and I will continue to predate what they are. And I think anybody who follows what our rules and our examinations and what we do will become a technical analyst at heart. But it's also there to provide a guidance, because there is so much bad stuff out there, so much.
Yeah.
Not just bad technical analysis, but bad information, bad analysis, bad every get rich quick schemes with a Bentley in the back which has been hired for the day or something like that, and saying you could easily do this. It's not easy. It takes time. No. And that's what we wanted to show. I wanted to show that you need to have that. And that led to, if you don't mind me saying, about what is the STA? What does it do? Education and qualifications. It's a core element of us.
Absolutely.
Information, education and qualifications. That's what we provide. Membership and community. The idea, you cannot sit alone. You can, if you want, sit alone, but without the community around you and knowing what's developing in technical analysis and being able to listen to other people, then you're just an echo box for yourself. You're not actually learning. And everybody needs to learn. This is an industry, or let me call it a vocation, that's been around since at least 1750, when we saw the first book on trading written by 𝗪𝗛𝗧. And that was the guy who invented candlesticks, which everybody still uses. And so we need to have that. And it's a global reach.
Yeah.
We are a big society. We're one of the big three societies in technical analysis in IFTA, and we need to have a global reach to push out there that information, because if we just speak to our own people here in the UK and Ireland, then I don't think we're going to get across a lot of change in the world, or development, I should rather say. So we need to get out, have a global reach, and we do. We have members all around the world because of our strong examination and accreditation network that we provide. And finally, publications. We publish newsletters, we publish the journal, and we are looking now very shortly to republish books which have come out of print. We are custodians for the future. We do not wish those documents to go into the night quietly, but come back and be published by us so that the world will know this is where we came from, and we're happy to do that. And that covers the what. And the third question I asked myself was the how. Well, the easiest one, again, is education and qualifications. You cannot take notice of anybody unless they have been educated and qualified as a member of the STA or CFTE through IFTA and a local society. It's criminal if you don't, because I personally think it's criminal, because you're listening to people who have no qualification necessarily that's recognized in technical analysis, and yet they purport to tell you what to do with not only your company's money, but your own personal money. And how we do it is also through events and community. We have our monthly meetings, either online or in person at the Moorgate, One Moorgate Place. We also have our social gatherings where we have at the National Liberal Club, and other events that are coming on, which I'm sure we're going to talk about. And it provides a sense of community that you can get hold of everybody very easily and then develop that through there. I mean, one of the things I was very glad to happen was this year for the STA fellows to have a WhatsApp group that they talk amongst each other. I think it's it's a blessing, modern technology, to be able to do that so that they can keep in contact with each other. Resources and publications. Again, we have our libraries held at Barbican. But you don't need to go to the Barbican. You can actually do the Libby app and actually look at our books on the Libby app. But we have, I think it's 1,800 books, something like that, at the Barbican Library. And they're
not all online.
They're not all online. I mean, some of them are very specialized and very obtuse, but they're there in person. But a lot of them, some of the major ones are online. And we have a global standing, and that's how we do it, through IFTA, through the International Federation of Technical Analysts, so that the word STA means something around the world, not just in technical analysis, but around the world physically. And I think that's really the areas I wanted to sort of what crossed my mind. It took a while to think about these things. And, you know, the why, the what, and the how were the three key areas I was looking at. And just saying information, education, examination, accreditation, that's a good strapline to go ahead with, but it's not enough. We need to do more than that. And I mean, this is part of that, doing more than that at the moment.
One of the things that we discussed at the strategy meeting was that a lot of people just think that technical analysis is a prediction tool, and we discussed it's not. It is in fact covering behavioural finance, risk management tool. And we also discussed amongst ourselves, how can we make this, people realise that this is something you have to have when there's no technical analyst jobs out there anymore. And as you know, in the meeting, we discussed at length, if you've got any kind of sales role, trading role, any kind of hedging role in a company, or any kind of financial role, really, technical analysis can give you that edge. And that is what we are providing. We are providing people with discipline and knowledge. And this is important. So one of the